Hello, everybody. All right. Let's see if that'll work here. Ah, crap. All right. So I am driving in traffic at the moment. So I wanted to try to update you guys on some things that have been going on with me. Addie and I, we're sort of not together, but not together, if that makes sense, you know? It's just one of those things where I think that we have a pretty fundamental difference of opinion as far as, my art and the value, how seriously I take my work, and I don't know. I think it's just we decided to just kind of take it one day at a time here. I mean, unfortunately, we still live together. There's nothing we can really do about that. But I think that it could actually end up being really good, because I'm sorry, I don't have my normal sticky. I normally have a sticky that I put the phone on, but I don't have it. I don't know where it went. I cleaned out my car recently. So God only knows where that thing went, So I'm trying my best here. So I think I really like Addie. I think that of everybody that I've dated, I'm definitely the closest with her. And I mean, I don't know if I ever told you guys this. I can't remember what the hell I told you guys, but I proposed to her. On that when we went up to see the redwoods. I asked her to marry me. And she was kind of like, well, she was very. I think I should have read the room a little bit better, because we had been arguing all night. We basically were. I don't even know if I ever told the full story, but we were trying to go on a road trip up the whole coast, and I thought, the NorCal Oregon coast was supposed to be nice, but it was so shitty that I could not believe it. It was like a big trailer park. I just remember we tried to stop. It was a bad situation because, I was thinking that it was going to be like Big Sur. And so I said, okay, let's just drive as far as we feel like we can, because we'll enjoy it. It's a scenic drive, so it'll be a nice drive. And then I also was trying to be spontaneous, so I was like, I'm not even going to book a hotel. So anyway, long story short, we drove up to, finally we got so exhausted that we stopped in a place called Crescent City, California. Crescent Shitty, they should call it, because it was a dump. And we weren't even gonna, I was willing to settle. Basically, I settled for the town that made me least want to puke, was Crescent City. And honestly, I came pretty fucking close. It was disgusting. I don't know if you've ever, maybe I take it for granted how the people in California typically aren't poor people, because I don't want to be any kind of way here, but unfortunately, maybe it's a causation-correlation thing. I don't know, But poor people tend to be dirtier than rich people. They just are. And so I always tell people, I think I even tweeted that once, I don't hate poor people. I don't hate poor people. I hate people who are dirty and disgusting. So I would hate a rich person if they were dirty and disgusting. I hate Elon Musk. Really, financially, the financials, and I'm not an accountant. I don't care about your banks. I don't care about your bank statement. I just care, are you pleasant and are you clean? Anyway, it just was awful there. But we couldn't do anything about it because and it was on me. I tried to be spontaneous and I thought it was going to be nice and I didn't prepare. So we ended up spending $400 fucking dollars on a hotel that night in Crescent City. $400. And so I'm even getting mad at myself. I understand why she was mad, Now I understand. At the time, when when you're just in an argument with someone and you kind of know you're wrong, but you just don't want to feel wrong. So you sort of just put up a fight just cuz. I think that fighting can be fun, honestly. I think a verbal argument, when it gets really heated, I find it exhilarating. So I really enjoy arguing. And that has caused a lot of my relationships to be very strained because people who I date don't really understand that that's sort of a love language for me, is arguing. So we were going at it because we had been driving all day. We were in this terrible hotel that cost as much as a resort. And then they almost didn't let me stay at the hotel because I was in the process of renewing my license, and the DMV people had given me the temporary piece of paper that says you have a driver's license, because they had to send it to me in the mail. So all I had was the piece of paper. I didn't have photo ID, which I didn't know that you'd need photo ID to check into a hotel. I don't understand why they give a fuck. If somebody has my credit card, that's not their problem. That's my problem. So what do they? I honestly don't understand. And maybe if anybody works at a hotel, maybe you guys can tell me, because it's very annoying. I was showing them, I had the whole wallet. I had all my credit cards. I was saying, I'm Dan. Here's my driver's thing. I was showing them everything, my car registration, my proof of residency. I had a lease in my car. I was showing them, and they still wouldn't let me in. And so Addie the whole time was just like getting madder and madder. And I was like, just fucking let me in. Or if there's going to be a problem in this hotel lobby in about 20 minutes, once I go to the... So anyway, we finally did get in the hotel, and what started it was we fell asleep, and I sort of tried to, and I was like, I've had a long day. I really need, to get my fucking hog sucked. Cause it feels good. And so sometimes after a long day, I just like that. That's caused a lot of problems in my relationship too. Because I don't understand why people don't like it as much as me. Anyway, so I sort of asked her, could you blow me? And she said, are you really going to ask me that after we've spent all day blah 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 blah. And then that was like a baby argument. Then we fucking heard children banging on the wall from the other room. It was an adjoining, I don't know why the hell they do that. In hotels, they have a door that leads right. Every time I slow down and come to a red light, I gotta talk less loud. I don't know why they do that. Why do they have a door that goes to the other room? That's stupid. And we could hear We could hear every single thing that those stupid twerps were saying. And a couple of times I knocked on the door and I said, shut up. We're trying to sleep in here. And then it ended up probably being pretty even because they could hear me and Addie screaming at each other the entire night. So anyway, long story short, we got in a big argument that lasted all night. And then finally at the end, I wanted to go to sleep. So I just said, fuck it. Will you marry me? You know? And I was like, and she was like, what? And I said, yeah, just fucking marry me. If that'll shut your fucking pie hole. And so I was serious, you know? But she said no. And that kind of shut that conversation down. So I was like, okay, well, you don't love me, you know? That explains why we've been fighting all night, that if you don't love me. Could have just said that and we could have gotten 8 hours of sleep tonight. Oh, God, that scared me. Oh, my God, that fucking scared me. I have really been dealing with a lot of PTSD since the police thing. And it hasn't gone away, you know. I always figured that PTSD just went away eventually, but I guess it doesn't, you know. So she said no, and then we went to bed because I was sad now, and we were both tired. And the next day we talked about it, and she said, listen, maybe I'll consider it. I want to marry you, but that was not the time to ask me. And so I said, okay, that's fine. I totally understand that. You don't fucking love me. Just say it. Quit beating around the bush and just say it. Anyway. So I do think that we are really good together, and I think that we have a really good relationship, and so I want to try to save it if I can, you know. I mean, I got a little upset. Sometimes I get really absorbed in things. I don't actually think she's funnier than me. I mean, let's be honest, you know. It's sort of the same way that I feel about, these one-hit wonders that I see on the internet who have one super mega viral hit, you know. And then it's like, well, what else you got? Nothing? Usually they don't have anything else. With me, it's banger, 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 banger. That's what I do. So, if we're talking about consistency and we're talking about longevity, she's trash from a comedic standpoint, you know. And I'm in the major leagues. So once I sort of told myself that, and once I realized that, then I loved her again. And I was willing to date her, and I wanted to try to fix it. I didn't tell her any of that, obviously, but all I need to know is that I don't care if whatever people think of me, as long as I have convinced myself in my head how I am better than them, then I'm fine. And that, I've realized, has been the problem with every one of my past relationships. I was insecure about myself, and once I got confident enough to be able to tell myself I am better than that person, then that was the key to all of my happiness. And now I'm fine, you know. So anyway, I gotta get rolling here, but okay, there's somebody standing in the middle of the driveway. I gotta head out. Why the fuck? Well, then why were you standing in the fucking driveway?